This is the Latitude Ranger 22 pack. I bought it with really high hopes and I don't really like it at all. And I'm making this video to be totally clear to help anyone who's considering purchasing this pack recognize before they buy it what didn't work for me, and hopefully that will help you make a more informed decision as to whether this is the right pack for you. I'm sure and I know that there are guys who this pack is great for. It just doesn't fit the way that I like to hunt and the type of pack that I like to support that. I want to be really clear. I really love all my Latitude products. I own so many other things. I would use half this video to tell you everything I own from Latitude. I've also met a ton of their guys in person at trade shows. They're the kindest guys, would probably give you the shirt off their back. And I don't want any of this to disparage Latitude in any way. That's definitely not the point. But I do feel this video needs to be made because there are things for me that for this pack that just don't work for me. You know, hopefully this will be good constructive feedback for Latitude, but also hopefully it will help you, if you're considering this pack, know if it's the right choice for you. And if it is, that's even better, right? I will continue to buy their gear, just to be totally clear. When they make things that I love, I always hop right on them, just like I did with this pack, just like I did with the bow hanger, just like I did with their sticks and the X-Wing. Certainly nothing in my mind has changed about Latitude as a company or their people, just simply this pack doesn't work for me. So let's get into it. So I got my Latitude Ranger 22 in the first order, the first launch of this bag. As soon as they dropped it, I bought it. Like I said, I love Latitude and I really like supporting what they're up to. And so I said, yes, I need a new smaller backpack. This is perfect. They have this little ASG logo on it, which is means they're all season gear. And I was like, cool, this is gonna be kind of a part of a modular system that's gonna work really well for my stuff all throughout the year. And that's gonna make it really easy to fit this pack into the relatively warmer hunting that I do in Pennsylvania back when I lived there. That was warm in October and part of November. And then through December, I was hoping more things would have come out, for instance, such as a larger pouch that you could take on and off here, where you could stuff additional gear. For me, the way I hunt, this is not a big enough pack to support me all year. I made it 3 weeks through archery season last year, and I switched to a 3,000 cubic inch pack because this was just too small. Honestly, I have had other 22 cubic inch size bags and this one does not feel like it's close. I'm not saying they're lying about the size, but to me, there was not nearly enough space in here to put the things in that I need to hunt. I even went through a minimalist purge and I literally got rid of everything I possibly could, because when I got my hands on this bag, I recognized it was gonna be smaller than I thought it was gonna be. And I said, well, hey, those Latitude dudes are minimalists, so let me try that out. And a lot of the things I purged, I have left behind, but there are, in my mind, core things that I want to go into the woods with on every hunt. And this bag doesn't support that as soon as it starts getting cold. It was fine for a couple weeks in October. So I moved from Pennsylvania to Tennessee this year, and that actually gave me some hope for this bag. I said, cool, maybe the size will make more sense down in Tennessee, where obviously fall is warmer, significantly longer. I was excited to use this bag. So you can tell the bag is not empty. I've actually got gear in here now and I have been using it. And unfortunately, while the size issue may not be as big of a deal, there were other factors that contributed to me really not liking this bag for the way that I hunt. The size thing was a little bit better, to be honest. I probably could get away with it if size was the only factor that I didn't like, but there are a few other factors I want to go into that just, for me, make this not the right bag. Aside from the size of the bag itself, this fabric, while it's extremely tough and relatively quiet, this fabric has no stretch at all. So if you are stuffing this bag, you can't overstuff it, right? Whatever the capacity is what the capacity is. Every other bag I've ever owned, the fabric has a bit of stretch in it somewhere, and this one just does not have any. It fills up like the Michelin Man, and that's it. Once it's stuffed, it's stuffed. And that really works against you when you're trying to stuff things into it, because you can't shove things. So you end up with little dead open spots of space because you can't quite fit things how you want. But also, it works against you because these really tight water bottle pockets on the side get even tighter when you have stuff in here. So I can barely fit my hand down in this right now, and I don't even have the pack barely halfway full. This was a useless water bottle pocket for me. And it also doesn't make a very good gear lash because I have to regularly take that off to get my saddle gear out. Whatever was in the side pocket here would fall out like a tripod. So if I was gonna use this as a gear storage thing for anything tall, like a tripod, I had to keep this clipped the whole time or I risked losing it, which also was not helpful. So you can see, I actually got a cheap Molly water bottle pouch for this because I recognized immediately I was not gonna be able to carry my water bottle in the pocket that in my opinion should be designed and optimized for water bottle. Nice thing is they do have MOLLE here, so I was able to adapt this bag a little bit to try to make it work. For someone else that might be perfect. Just for me, I didn't like it, and the water bottle ended up getting really in the way all the time, which made me like that even less. But the biggest thing that I'll say that I just do not like about this bag, in my opinion, it's just too short. It is very uncomfortable on my back. The pads are too big and too thick. I know that sounds like backwards, like shouldn't be comfortable, but they're not. It kind of like protrudes off my back when I wear it. It doesn't hang on my shoulders well. I've played with the length of the shoulder straps here. I've played with the lengths of the shoulder straps down there. I've tried a bunch of different things to make this bag hang on my back where I would like it to be. But at the end of the day, I like my pack kind of high, but I need it supported on my hips, and this bag simply does not do that. Another feature of this bag that I think might be helpful for a lot of people, but just didn't work for me, is its complexity. There are a lot of pockets in this thing. So you got your two side stuff pockets. You've got a front pocket on this bag, which actually also opens to a back pocket on the same bag. So you can see my hand can go right through there, okay? You've got an upper pocket here. You've got a lower pocket here. This one's fleece lined, which is a little bit nice. It's a little bit quieter. You've got a pocket here with a double vertical zipper, which I found obnoxious because when I opened it, everything falls out all the time. You've got a top pocket here, which I do use for my bowstring. That was decently handy, all things considered. Then there's probably a water pouch pocket in the back. Then inside there is a secondary, I should have probably unpacked my bag before I did this. There's a secondary kind of like stuff sack pocket that I don't quite get the point of. And then down in the bag, there's two stuffed pockets on the side as well. And overall, it's just extremely complex in my mind. I found it harder to organize my gear because there were so many pockets and none of them are very large. The vertical zipper on this pocket really didn't work in my favor because everything falls out when I unzip it in the tree. So I'm always having to really carefully kind of half zip it and just kind of like wiggle my fingers in and try to get what I want and then zip it back up real quick so nothing falls out. Additionally, if you have a lot of weight up here, and you have this pocket open and you're in a tree and you don't have your sides zipped up and it falls over, things start falling out onto the ground. In my opinion, the pocket layout is just too complex. I get the need to have some of these big pockets, and I'm not saying maybe they're not necessary, but especially the pockets inside the main compartment, for me, just detracted from the usable volume of the interior. I would have rather just be one open interior with a pouch in the back, and that would have been more than enough for me so that I can put in the big things that I need to put in there and not worry about all these little pockets with all these little things getting in the way. All right, in conclusion, I still think Latitude makes awesome products, and this is not to bash this product, this is just to tell you my experience with it. To any Latitude guys who are watching this video, I seriously appreciate you guys. Please do not take this as me bashing you. Definitely not my intent here. So, honest takeaway, this is a great pack for you if you want to pack light, if you want to easily lash your saddle gear to it, and if you want a lot of pockets for organization. 100%, this is a great pack for you as long as you can fit it to your, to be comfortable for you. And full disclaimer, plenty of the Latitude guys are way taller than me and they run this pack. How it's comfortable on them is probably just a difference in personal opinion, which is one of the reasons that I think this pack makes a lot of sense, because I know there are a lot of guys running it who love it, including the Latitude guys. So if those things sound like you, this is probably a great pack worth checking out. But this has been my honest opinion on this. Really hard video because I really love the Latitude guys. For a solid 6 months, I've thought about making this video. I didn't want to do it until I moved down to Tennessee. I gave it another shake, and then once I did, and I still felt like the majority of the things I listed worked against this bag making sense for me, I felt I needed to make this video. I appreciate it if you watched to the end. If you have run this bag and you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. I could be totally wrong in your opinion, and you can feel free to tell me. Also, if you work for Latitude and you want to bash me, go ahead. Just kidding. I appreciate you watching this video. I'm not going to ask you for a like or subscribe or share, because what's really important here is to get this information across to help you make an informed decision. And me asking for anything from you just really is not giving that in full taste. Thanks, guys.